huge weight off the shoulder, I guess, because it was not my first attempt, and I was pretty surprised. But then I thought, okay, maybe the amount of work that I've put in, it's proportional. Though I have to work harder, I'll still continue. And well, yes, this is what it was. In fact, I think it was a very muted response. I'm just happy to be at least some one step closer to my dream.
Hi, in this video, we bring to you the story of Anjali Vishwakarma, a UPSC CSC 2020 aspirant who secured an All India rank of 158. Anjali is a graduate in aerospace engineering from IIT Kanpur. She then worked in an MNC abroad and decided to take a dive into the world of UPSC and become an IAS officer so she could bring a change in society. Started preparing in 2018, it took her 3 attempts to finally ace the UPSC examinations and be on her way to fulfill her dream as an IAS officer. This is her story. Watch on, learn her strategies and explore the secrets to success with Anjali, AIR 158.
My name is Anjali Vishwakarma. I secured 158 rank in the Civil Services Examination of 2020. And I started my preparation in 2018. I was working in a job since I graduated from IIT Kanpur for 3 years in Schlumberger. And 2018 was my first attempt just to check out how the exam is like. And this is 2020 would be my 3rd attempt and my first mains and first interview. And I'm from Dehradun, and that is that way. Yes, after quitting in 2018, UPSC has been given full time. My job was very hectic. I was working offshore mostly and not in India. So a 9 to 5 job, a lot of people can shuffle between preparing for UPSC and a job. But for me, if I had to do this, I had decided this is my aim in life. And for that, I had to do that sacrifice of quitting the job and getting into full-time preparation. The first and the second time that I did not go through the prelim, I did have to take a step back and think whether I'm doing something right or not. And apparently, I think I did something right in 2020. That's way. This is that one job that can be a vocation for me, and it has some impact in society. Of all the jobs that I've seen, a lot of my siblings, my colleagues working in corporate and everything, and a lot of my colleagues even in the civil services as well, and I see the difference that they make, and I see how all these civil servants are on the forefront of everything, and that sort of excited me, the challenges and everything, and I follow wherever the challenge takes me. I followed Shabir sir to EduChemie actually, because my optional was geography, and I wanted to complete the entire A to Z of geography, and he was one of the best. He's one of the best teachers of geography that's available. So EduChemie, I did answer writing. Basically for mains and interview preparation, I was there in EduChemie. The biggest challenge in the preparation of UPSC had been the amount of material available. And so the focus drifts and the focus shifts. And that mistake I made in 2019 when I started doing everything online, every coaching institute free material, and going into very micro details rather than understanding what the paper is about. I guess that was the biggest challenge to overcome, because you have to reorient yourself how to study. You have to stay away from the distraction and choose. And the second thing that happened was when you start writing answers for mains, there is a simple model that is followed in every institute that when you upload your answers, it will be checked on a baseline. There is a PDF available, and that is how the answers are checked. So I could never get a very personalized feedback for mains. It was just on modules that okay, this points are there, these points are there, these points are not there. So that's it. In EduChemie, I saw that a lot of attention was paid to I did geography optional. So I really saw that somebody read through the paper, took an effort to understand how could I have done better, what went wrong, and actually gave marks that I thought, okay, this explains how am I doing in the paper. So that helped me in assessing how I've done mains. And the second part was they made a lot of question and answers available already, sample question answers, because you don't have time to go through all the question answers for mains. Some question answers you just have to learn and take it out in the mains examination. So those kind of easily available answers really helped in the last minute preparation of the topics that were not covered. Because this time COVID had shrunk the timeline for mains preparation. This helped a lot. I also enrolled in the interview mentorship program. So I am giving interview for the first time, have no idea how it goes. So there was a lot of one-on-one session rather than just a panel mock in the first instance. So that helped prepare a bit. So it was basically some gaps and loopholes in the personality that had to be plugged, and that went very well with Eric. The module was very easy to get. So you upload your answers and they would correct and give it back. That's what I said. The personalized experience of it actually set it apart from other institutes in this instance, because I have taken one of the other institutes' tests and I was not getting anything back. I did not understand what was going wrong in the answers. So this helped here. The amount of online sessions was related to answer discussions mostly. And I think the full-fledged show I saw in the interview part of it. So that is what I'm saying. There was a focus attention in Edukemi, and you could see it online because some people just have videos they put online. There is no interaction. There are set timings also. So if you miss it, well, you can't have an interaction. I think Edukemi did well there. So it made us feel like at least we are part of the discussion, help us understand where we lacked. I think I was mildly chaotic all the time. There was a baseline of chaos. But for me personally, once when I start studying, I really like to do this. So my entire focus went into it. I would shut down everything else outside and just focus on my study. Plus, I was staying at home, so there was a lot of support also rather than just staying alone in another city. I think that helped. That is the only difference I think in my previous attempts and this attempt is that I stayed in home in this one. So I think the results are out and I think home helped. So calmness I think came from support from my parents, from my siblings, and if you have a good structure, and I think anybody can do anything. I chose geography optional because I did my engineering in aerospace engineering, very niche subject, and did not even come close to mechanical. And I had always loved drawing, and the amount of words that you can save in mains paper while just drawing, I think one of the reasons, and geography helps in other GS papers also. It's very wide, you learn about everything. In fact, geopolitics is a part of geography. That is one of my favorite areas to learn. So all those decisions basically came to the conclusion, well, geography is the logical answer. Yes, I am a very planning kind of a person, so I would change my timetable every week. I would have a timetable definitely, would wake up early in the morning, 6 to 7 on very stressed days, 8 o'clock on relaxed days, go through the newspaper. Initially it took 3 hours, 4 hours to go through it, and then when I started understanding what exactly to read in a newspaper, then it took me 1.5 to 2 hours. Took up 2 newspapers for mains preparation and all that, and then the week was divided between subjects, 3 days for this subject, 3 days for that subject, and some buffer days at the end of 15 days, so that if I left anything, I would just cover it up without stressing of the time gone. This was the base of all my timetable activities. So that is the overall strategy, and I had different things going on for prelims, mains, and interviews. Well, just a disclaimer before this, it is a hidden trial method, so it is different for everybody. So everybody has to see what suits them. For me, what happened in 2020, for the 2020 attempt, I understood that I have to attempt one paper every day. So all these yellow books are available. I bought OMR sheets online from the shop, and then I just started doing papers on my own. Not for collecting questions, but raising my temperament so that I'm not very stressed when I see the paper. So I must have done it for 2 months, 6,000, at least 7,000 questions overall for prelims. and I continuously did it. I learned a lot through that. Slowly, I could see that the number of questions that I was attempting wrong went down. I was doing 35, 30 questions wrong, and then I came to 19 and 18, and that is acceptable if one has to make through the cutoff. And this was the only prelim strategy: complete the syllabus, have enough time for revision, because I had made a lot of notes also, because you can't go through the book. So notes helped me, and the test papers. For mains, well, there was very less time. I had never written an answer, and I was very scared of the fact that people had said, well, you have to complete all the questions in the right time. You cannot exceed 7 minutes in this question, and I took that to heart. So I would keep 2 clocks in front of me, 2 kinds of clocks in the mains examination, and I would time even there, so that I was able to complete the entire paper. And that is how I prepared also. I just wrote answers, and I learned those answers. So I was able to reproduce them very quickly in the examination. That helped. For the interview, I think personality is developed. If you develop it over a period of many years, so that was always there. One has to recognize what are your weak points and just work on it. For me, I used to, as can be seen in the video, I talk into a lot of details. For interview, I had to prepare very well, so that I'm very succinct and brief, and to the point answering, and not nervous, and just covering all my areas, because I have a shallow knowledge about a lot of things, but not really a very deep knowledge about one topic. Try to do that a bit, read a lot of newspapers, YouTubing and Googling, I think, were the main things that one should do. These are like the simplest strategies I can think of that I do that help. Well, I try not to study a day before, but well, I can't help it. I always end up revising frantically. But this time I was relatively calm, because, as I said, doing a lot of questions raised my temperament. So when I saw the paper in the prelims, I was not really scared. I just started doing very easily, casually. First question I saw didn't work out. Okay, let's move on to the next one. In 2019, I was getting very anxious in the paper also. For the mains, I had to warm up my hands so they stay in motion, and not pick up my head really, because once you see other people what they're doing, how fast they're writing, it sort of gets into your head. Just focus on your own paper and complete it. Just look at the time. My watch is in me. That was it in the mains. For the interview, well, I think the best thing is just to be yourself like you are every day. It's very difficult. I was sweating really badly. It was my first interview. I was scared, but then I tried to calm myself down. And before the interview, I think that calmness gave a bit of confidence also. I did not falter in any questions, was not able to answer many of them. So I said, well, I don't know. Maybe that helped, that honesty. Yeah, I was cityless before. As I said, I was not working in India. So when I came, the first logical thing was Delhi, because that's where the hub is. And then COVID pushed me home, and everything went online. So I've done both. I've done offline world also, online world also. I guess online gave you a lot of freedom to choose your timings. A lot of videos I would just put on 1.75 speed and just watch it. It saves a lot of time, and that helped, because a lot of things were crunched. Mains, there was no time for mains. These kind of things helped. Online did help. Well, this advice is personal. As I'm saying, don't take it to the value of the word. What happens is, I'll just give an example. In 2019, when I was attending the paper, I knew a lot of micro things. There was one of the questions, I can't remember which exam, 19 or 20, a Ramsar site question. I knew what Ramsar sites were. Is it man-made? Is it natural? What birds are coming there? But I had no overall idea of what the Ramsar site is. Are the states obligated to do something? And that answer was so straightforward, very basic, and I was not able to attend that. So one thing would be to know the paper. The first thing should be get 20-30 years of paper, sit with it and just look at it. What kind of questions are coming? They're not going to ask a lot of micro questions. Nobody is going to ask in which year was this scheme launched, 2015, 2016, it doesn't matter. That is where I was caught as well. It matters if you know the scheme, you know what are the aims of that scheme. How is it working? How is it helping? So broad understanding of UPSC is required before somebody really jumps off. So for prelims, what people start doing is try to do everything, every minute thing. that is really not required. So take the paper, get to know it, what are the questions they are asking, and this helps in mains also. Before attempting mains, you should look at the paper and see what are they trying to ask, what are the kind of questions, and you get an idea of what UPSC is trying to do. That helped me a bit. Another advice would be to complete NCERT. That was my mistake too. I'm from ICSE, so it doesn't, NCERTs are not there. Had not done it, and 50% of the paper can be attempted just by NCERT. So that should be your base. Know the paper, and I think not even taking any extra help, people should be able to do a paper very well.